Right before the market opened this morning, I flipped on my screen recorder, I caught one of my trades live, and I want to break it down for you today. So if you want to see it, stay tuned. All right, team, before we jump into the trade video, I just want to show you the timestamps on my trades just to show you that I was in this trade less than 2 minutes. It ended up being 1 minute, 57 seconds. So here's my entry. You can see it right there. And then there's my exit. So you can see the timestamps. I was in for a very little period of time and I took a 25-cent stop, 50-cent target, and that's all it took. So let's jump into the video. Welcome back to Taking Trades. I'm Jimmy. I'm super excited for this video because it ties back to yesterday's video, which if you're interested, I'm gonna pop it up right up here. Check that video out. What I talked about was scalp trading and just trying to take 20, 30, 40, 50 cents out of the markets and then call it a day. And then in the morning, rinse and repeat. Just continue this process. Well, this morning, the markets were about to open. I was getting myself set and I thought, you know what? I bet the audience, I bet the channel would want to see a live trade play out. So I flipped on my QuickTime recorder, I hit record, and then I just let things play out. So I hope you enjoy this today. I want to show you what I was thinking through the trade. It's not very long. This whole video is going to be pretty short. So if you can sit through, stay till the end, just helps the channel out. And if you're new, I'd love to have you join the team. Hit that subscribe button and then also hit that thumbs up like button if you like this video. It'll just really help the algorithm promote the channel and get this to more viewers. So thank you on the front end for that. So let's dive into this trade recap. This is on AMD. I talked about how I'm trading AMD. I'm scalping it every morning. This is the one trade that I do every single day. And then from there, I close it out and I move on to options trading and some other things I'm involved with. But this is my consistent thing every morning. So what I wanted to show you guys right off the bat was, and it's a little hard to see for some reason on this window, but right at the top of the screen, you can see there's about 4 seconds. If you look right in here, there's about 4 seconds to go before the market opens. And I went ahead and put out my bracket order. Yesterday I mentioned that I like to come over here and click this single button and pick the TRG with the bracket. So you get this set up. You can see I have an order, which is a limit, a stop limit buy order. And then I have a target and I have a stop loss. And so this morning when I was watching the markets, I decided to go ahead and place a 25-cent stop loss and a 50-cent take profit. I like that 2-to-1 and I just want to show you how it plays out. So I'm going to hit play right now. You can see that order's out and then the market opens and you'll see the first candle come live. So there it is. So what happened this morning is it just started to push down right out of the gate and I wasn't sure that I was going to get a trade. I thought, okay, you know, it might drop. My bias was that it was going to go long. It's not going long, so you know I might just move on for the day. And I just leave the order out and just watching it, and I'm kind of wanting to see it jump back above the high of these previous 2 candles. And so I just keep an eye on it, keep watching it, and what started to happen, and you can notice it right now, just hit pause, it's starting to show buyer interest coming in, and it's starting to show a big bullish pin bar with a huge wick on it. So as we watch it progress, you'll see it slowly tighten up, and now I'm getting excited. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get triggered and I'm gonna go long. And one thing I do wanna mention in here is that the reason I have 400 shares is because I wanted to risk $100 and I wanted to use a 25-cent stop. So if you take the $100 risk and I divide it by my stop loss, which I determined I want it to be 25 cents, that gives me 400 shares. That's how I always determine how many shares I'm going to buy or short. Now, once I have that in play, if I get stopped out, meaning it goes 25 cents in the wrong direction and it hits this stop down here, though I'm only going to lose around $100. Now, if I hit and I win, this target, which is set up for 2-to-1, that means I'm going to win 50 cents, which would be $200. So that's the logic I use when I'm putting out these brackets. So now back to the video, back to the good stuff. You could see my hand up here. I put my cursor over the flatten button because I was about to get triggered, and what I like to do is that if I get a huge push immediately and I'm almost to 2R, sometimes I'll just hit the flatten button and take it off. So right there, you can see I just got filled, and you got all my order fills right up here. So it filled a little in a few different lots, but ultimately it filled 400 shares at 81.96. And you can see that my stop limit was, actually this is the order. I put the stop limit order in from 81.96 was the limit order, and 81.91 was the stop to trigger the order. So I ultimately got filled at 81.95 for the entire lot, and now we're long, and you can see immediately I'm up $44 like right out of the gate. So I'm watching for a big pop. I've got my finger on the trigger over here, waiting to see what it's going to do. And ultimately, I think what happened starting off is that you had these pre-market highs in here, and I think it kind of got rejected initially. The pre-market highs were holding it down, but the other thing I saw was this white line, which is the 20 simple moving average. It was right underneath this candle action and kind of holding steady. So it's kind of stuck right now between the pre-market high and the 20 simple moving average. So my idea was, I'm convinced we're going long. I'm just going to hang out. If I lose one. If I win, hopefully I'll win 2 or close to 2. And I just sat and watched. Right here I was thinking, yeah, this might not work. If it flashes down, we might be out of luck. So I just kind of kept tight, just hanging tight, being patient with it. And ultimately I just want to see a break of that pre-market high now. If it breaks where it's already gone, I'm convinced we're going to get a move pretty darn close to my target. So I'll just keep watching it here. And we start to push up a little higher, and we get to the point where it's flirting with that pre-market high, and then it breaks. That break told me flatten if you get close and it stalls. That's one thing I'm always watching for. If I get to almost 2R and it just stops and it's not moving, not moving, not moving, sometimes I'll just flatten the position and take it off. But I'm watching this thing go. We're up about $92. There's 108, 110. Then it drops down a little bit. It's kind of holding. It's not flashing around a whole lot. Then it pushes up nice and hard, and we get to $164 profit, and then we get here. So right now we're up 180. So we've got 180 of the 200 total dollars that I'm after. And now I'm starting to watch that flatten button pretty hard, because if I see signs that we're starting to flash away, that we're not going to break that level, I'll just flatten it and take almost 2R. That's a rule that I have that I'm going to reveal to you guys hopefully in a few videos from now. I want to show you the strategy I'm using exactly. But what happened here was it pushed up and it almost touched my order. And then do you see that tiny wick that came out? It spit up this tiny wick that went to a high of 82.44 within just a couple pennies of my target. And at that point I said, okay, if it starts acting funny, I'm out. And so what happened was it started to drop, and you can see right there, let me back it up just a tiny bit because that was quick. As it sagged, I went ahead and hit the flatten button. So you can see when you hit flatten, it removes the bracket and it puts out my order as a market to sell. And that's exactly what I did. And luckily I got a tiny little push up right at the end, and I was out. And you can see here I sold at 82.42 and a half. So a really nice fill, a very quick fill. And then you can see on the day up $190. So I didn't get those last $10, but ultimately, if you watch this play out, it pushed up a little bit more, right back to that high level again, and then started to sag away. So I was really happy with flattening the trade where I did, because it was touching the penny of where my target was, but because the bid ask is a penny or two wide, it wasn't quite high enough to trigger me out. So ultimately, I think this was a really good, fortunate play to get out at 190 profit and to do it within 2 minutes. 3 seconds shy of 2 minutes. So awesome trade. Thank you for stopping by. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. If you want to be part of our private Facebook group, hit the link below. Come on over, put in a request. I'll approve you, and join our 85 members there. Anyway, have a great night. We'll see you next time.